The world's greatest funny man, actor, and entertainer, Martin Short, is paying his first visit to Israel to emcee the Genesis Prize. He graciously offered to sit down with the media line. Martin, thank you so much for joining the media line today, and great to have you here with me.
Thank you.
When word got out that Martin Short was going to Israel to emcee Robert Kraft receiving the Genesis Prize, rumors spread that Tom Brady was retiring and you'd be at quarterback for the Patriots this fall.
Yes, it's true. It's absolutely true.
Oh my, we got a headline.
Yeah. They just said, it's time to get rid of that old hack. So they're getting rid of Tom Brady.
I guess everybody's going to know what the headline is in the morning.
Fine. It's good news.
Your first trip to Israel.
Yes.
With all due respect to the Genesis Foundation and Mr. Kraft, why now?
Because I was asked to present this award, and I'd never been to Israel. So it seemed like doubly an exciting experience.
And so far?
Unbelievably beautiful. Really, just everything. You can't even imagine it unless you're here. I've only spent time in Jerusalem, not Tel Aviv or any other city, but just absolutely spectacular. I mean, you spent your whole life hearing the word Jerusalem, and now you're here.
The Genesis Prize is an initiative to stand up to anti-Semitism, which has become more virulent in recent years, as typified by the growth of the boycott, divestment, and sanctions, BDS. And frankly, what's the takeaway that Martin Short wants to leave concerning this prize?
I would like to make it a great evening for everyone who's generously volunteered emotionally, financially for this organization. It's a remarkable organization, and I think that tragically anti-Semitism is not on the decline, especially in Europe. It's on the rise, and so this must be continually fought. You know, I'm friends with Steven Spielberg, and I went to an early screening of Schindler's List, and I said, Steven, why do you feel it's necessary to make this film right now? And he said, because anti-Semitism is on the rise in Europe like it never was before.
How do you take tough subjects like anti-Semitism and add humor?
I don't think you do. You don't. You section out the evening. And when the evening gets sincere about things that are not to be joked about, then you do it sincerely.
Did you always want to be a funny man?
No, I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to be Frank Sinatra. But I ended up in comedy. Once you're in comedy, you can't do both. You know what I mean?
The Middle East is often called a tough neighborhood. In a Vanity Fair article a while back, Larry David called Martin Short the funniest guy he knows. Nora Ephron was recalled as saying Martin Short is simply the best person, period. And Lorne Michaels called you well-adjusted and nice. Will they be cloning you anytime soon?
I hope so, for America and for the world.
Your characters are comic masterpieces, and as you near 50 years in the business, huge numbers of fans have isolated one or another, perhaps sharing your alter egos. I realize the genesis of your character, well, no pun intended here,
yes.
Is highly personal, but what would you, like residents of this very complicated region, sometimes contentious, to take away?
From?
Well, from out of your work.
Oh, I don't care. I don't. It's not. I don't care.
What about your characters?
It's up to them. You know, comedy is very subjective. It doesn't make anyone wrong. Some people love the Three Stooges. Some people hate the Three Stooges. Some people love Charlie Chaplin. Some people find him boring. No one's wrong. It's just their taste. So, if people like Frank, some people don't like Frank. Some people like some other character, Jiminy Glick. I don't know. It's up to them.
Well, Martin, I should mention that when I told my husband that I was going to interview you, and
Yes.
wow, it was the guy with the three amigos, he said, well, maybe you're really talking Kushner, Greenblatt, and Friedman.
Yeah, that's the new three amigos.
So
Yeah.
do you think in Canada or the United States, what do you think about what's happening in terms of news right now? You're Canadian, and we've had a big problem in terms of issues like fake news. So again, how do you use comedy in terms of some of those issues?
Well, in America, the comedy kind of comes from the White House at this point. The fake news term is a made-up term. Fake news is a term that the President of the United States uses when there's an article that he doesn't like. He'll deny something that they just hit the button and there's it on tape.
Who's funnier, Donald Trump or Justin Trudeau?
Oh, Donald Trump. Trudeau's a rock star.
How do you think your characters would fare in the Middle East?
No, well, I don't know. You know the Middle East better than I. I don't know how they do.
Well, do you think that Israeli women would swipe Ed Grimley?
Swipe Adam? Oh, swipe. If they were desperate, if they were very desperate and extremely lonely, you know.
What would you tell a young person striving to be a comedian today?
The one thing I've learned is to not take it personally, to take show business like a business and not like be defeated when you don't get something. But that's easy to say at my age. But I think that anyone who wants to be an actor or a comedian or anything, just keep doing it. You do get better the more you do anything. It's like, it's not just show business, it's something else. So the more you, I'd like to think that I'm a better actor at the age of 69 than I was at the age of 29. And it's just because I keep doing it. So just keep doing it.
Well, Martin, thank you.
Thank you.
Wish you lots of success.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Really, pleasure.
Pleasure.